right now. Oh man, it is super hot outside. I'm so glad I got all my stuff in. Well, not all of it. I missed the pipes. We didn't get that, so that'll be for tomorrow. 'Cause I'm definitely not going back out there. And let me see. We got caulking and all that. We got enough to finish the panel. As soon as I figure out exactly where I cut that piece at. Get the Q-tips out of the way. So, let's see. That's going to land that. And I already had one around there somewhere. I'm going to find a pen. Really? Where's the pens at? There's one pen. So as for the glow-in-the-dark paints, yeah, post office, not post office, Amazon screwed up. Because the package that I paid for was supposed to come by Prime. There's one right here. It's supposed to come by Prime. And for some reason, they gave it to the post office. So, post office, there's no way they could have got that package inside the box. It's too big. So they set it on top of the box and someone took it. Of course, you know. We've asked them to send stuff over to the post office. But they keep doing it. Whoopsie. Gotta keep it up there. Matter of fact, I should bring it to here. Oh, come on. Be nice. Get up there. Oh, wait, that'll bypass the other way. We don't need that there. Just gotta trim a little more. I have a clip on that one. Just gotta trim a little more. Yeah, so Amazon was nice enough because they made the mistake of giving it to the post office when it was not supposed to be at the post office because I paid for Prime. And it gave me $20 on top of the money I already spent already on it. So that money will be back in my account. Got to reorder again. Hopefully this time we don't give it to the post office. I pay for stuff that comes by United States Post Office. I don't mind. But that goes to a separate location because it goes to a box system. It's always going to be there. Just come pick it up. That's better. I think it's right there. So we're going to trim off. Actually, it should be a little farther in. So that'll be perfect. I'm going to put the other piece in to lock in. It has to be covered up there. That's perfect. Oh, you're on the wrong side of this one. There we go. That's the freezer box we're working on. This case has 2 PCs in it. It's a big case. And it's 2 different power supplies. Actually, well, they are 2 different power supplies. Didn't get the right, same ones, each one's different. One's two computers. Two different sets of displays, but the new technology, the new coating we're going to put on for our window, for our doors. Let's put our visual effects in. So I'll get you in here. We got fans blowing left and right on here. So I'll put you right there. Come on, lights get out of the way. I bought some silver insulation tape, which we're going to need because we're going to do the same thing on this one over there with that silver refrigeration insulation tape. Now I'm going to trim up everything nicely. Got some fake icicles coming through, fake ice cubes, all that cool stuff. And I got to figure out what kind of beverages I'm going to put on the inside. I definitely do Coca-Cola. I finally found the Coca-Cola in a glass bottle. I found a place that sells them. So I'm going to get me a bottle and put it in, frost it up, put it right in there. Well, I pick it up today, but outside is freaking, it's super hot out there. I got up early to get this stuff. Everything's covered. We're good to go. Excuse me. Containers for, I'll tell you something. People don't buy the quarts anymore. They've been buying gallons. We've been selling gallons more than we sell quarts. And people are painting our walls with this stuff. This is the IOE paint. 2 more orders are going out today. Those are the big boys, the gallons. So I guess they're painting half and half, and so it works inside and outside. I gotta go into some demonstration. I'm not forgetting this. I gotta build something later on. Got me some more demonstrations on the paint. And I gotta send this stuff over to the advertising company. We're gonna get to that. So I'm gonna get this done, and then contact them, and put that out there. Man, once that advertising professional company goes in, they're gonna push it where it needs to be at in different areas. Oh yeah, our orders are gonna pick up like rapid. So I'm getting ready for that too. So I've been stocking up on our stuff. And they have a good track record of getting your company those orders that are needed. We need more publicity for our technology. The reason why we're building this, because like I said, it involves a screen. It involves an $8,000 gaming screen. Now, the screen's going to run that much? No, it's just a special screen. It's a special screen. You have to build all this stuff for it? No, not really. I like doing this kind of stuff. So I want to build a wall PC and getting something to hide the cat box and all that stuff. Just spiraled into this. So I figured, why not? Shorties. Very much should get one spot. I did several freezer PCs. I think this is the one I actually love the most. Yes. I have to frost the outside of it just a little bit, not too heavy. I think I'm gonna put Olaf in there. Some Olaf in there, a couple of statues in there. Of course, they have to be repainted because we have to frost them so they can actually blend in with the environment. There we are. That was just stupid. Take the pen with you, don't leave the scissors behind. That just doesn't work. Right on there, right there. Perfectly. Perfectly, perfectly. I'm going to use the same light system we have there to work on. We got another case we're working on. It's a 200 millimeter case which has electric, fire, and ice. I'll show you how we're going to make flames out of color and cotton with the watercolors, give it an effect to make it look like it's actually burning. Man, there's just so much stuff you learn in this field when you do modding. I got to show you how to take a ping pong ball and make it look like a hard piece of candy. That's a fun one right there. Make your own candy. I'm going to do a candy lamp piece one day. Simple stuff. I used to love going to the thrift store. You find all kinds of cool stuff in the thrift store. So much cool stuff in the thrift store to play around with. Got a frost type gauge. What I do is get that caulking out of there. And we need a piece of cardboard. That we use for spattling. So we need just that. I painted this PC over here. Actually, no, the other one over here I painted with some rolled up tissue. That's how we did that one. Some basic rolled up tissue. That makes a fantastic brush. Let's get you cut off and get you over here at the dwarf. So right there where that PC meets right there, that has to be iced up. Not to think there's a frost pushing off of it, because again it can't look like that. That looks weird. So do some frosting in there. YouTube. Ooh, that was kind of cool. Getting there. Are you kidding me? Look at this spring all the way out there like that. Come on. You're doing too much. You're doing way too much. Your lights doing too much. Right there, doing way too much. All that spilled out of there like that. pushing. Stop pushing so much. That's perfect. Yeah, still gripping. So then on that C. Oh, it's me, nobody. Woof, man. I should turn the computer off? I think so. Nah. Whatever. We'll just push right through it. I don't think shutting the thing off. Real quick, because I still got to come back in here and still do another job on this thing. Oh, man. But we're out. We are out. I'll do this pretty quick. I got to turn the machine off. I need to get in that spot. I don't know if they get jacked up by the fans. I think we can get it. See, you know what? Gotta get in there. That's Now this isn't up against the power supply, about that much away from the power supply itself, so I can get it out of there if I need to. Everything is designed for me to take out at will. A nice little frosty up to all the wires and cables. These holes are nice. I'll show you close what we got and what we did. Alright, cool. Spackle is your best friend. And everything it is. The only thing over there that doesn't really light up as much as I want to is the power supply. So I got an EL wire coming in that allowed me to put a nice white trace ring around the fan where it's at. And I'm going to basically put it in with silicone. Look, it's actually frozen in. I can show you what, 30, 40 different ways to modify a power supply. Basic, cheap power supplies which you want to pick up and show you how to modify it to make like something completely different to anything you want. I can make it look like it's actually made a cartoon paint job on it. Anything, convert it to anything you want. Pull the fans out, change for the fans, even make the fans glow. Even how to beef up your UV paints, how to boost them. That's what we're going to do over there. I have to order this special powder to make all those plants look like they're actually give a bit of a 3D effect. I do want to do like a multi-coat in green, different types of green, to give off a kind of effect when the RGBs go off. It'll give it a chance to fluctuate back and forth. If you haven't seen that one, we've got a lightning cloud in that one. That one has a lightning cloud in it. The other case over there on this side has a built-in lightning cloud right there. You can plug it in for fun. If you only run into this, that's why I got the USB on there, so I'm going to plug it right straight into the motherboard. Pretty cool, huh? Yep. That's nowhere near the motherboard. It's right there where the liquid cooling system is. Since the liquid cooling systems don't rest on the top and they rest on the bottom now. Actually, the top area, yeah. And they can't go anywhere either. They're actually bolted in. So what I did was actually took my system out over here, rotary tool, drilled a small hole into the ice cubes, and then cemented in a bolt system. Allowed me to be able to actually cut my own bolts and stuff, and put a bolt in so that way I can drop screws and nuts on the other side and push it right through. So there's a huge piece of plastic on the other side of that to strengthen the cardboard. Modifications is what I do. What I do. What I do. That's what we did. Back to this baby over here. I'll show you what we did over here on our ice job. All I gotta do is get myself a Pepsi bottle and make it look like it's frosted. It's not hard to do. We're still finishing up the panels on this side right here. So this is how we ice it up. So it looks nice and frosty. I want to make sure that that edge pushes out and meets with the ice buildup we have in here. Put it all on the fans here. Up here, coated the top part of the box. And right there in the frost is my thumb drive for my, what do you call it? Internet. So I can make it all wireless. Yep, pretty soon we'll be finished. I can put my glass there because I have my plexiglass. I have all of these. It's all plexiglass. That's all set up for what we need to do. And that's pretty much it. I got this one to finish off right next. And that involves new technology too. So get my rag here, clean up my hands. Get ready. It's already got the caulking done. That's done. I needed the caulking finish. And then we got some, actually add a booster to this, white neon, which is going to have a booster to it to actually make all that stuff glow. That's the next job. Since when I hear any clickety clackety, that means nothing stuck to the fans. I do have an area right there. I can literally see the lights from here. I need to pad it right over in that section right there. A little bit more cotton in that section. All the rest of it's actually looking pretty nice. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet like that. Oh, man. Let me see, we're all done with that? Yeah, yeah, good stuff up. PC guy, you don't call him king because no way in the world. I showed his tag to my buddy. He was like, really? He thinks he's the king at the end of the day? He's a master programmer. He's an encryptor, special encrypting and all that crazy stuff. We write software, so anything that comes up on these machines and any parts and stuff, you can rewrite the firmware software for all of that. You can make your graphic card dance. This guy's really good. But he calls himself king? Really? They find that offensive at the end of the day. Especially when you've got an average build. In our world, even if you have like high-end parts, you have what we call an average build. That's what it is. I ain't trying to be disrespectful and all, but I can do the same thing. Now some of these modified builds I see, good gracious, at the end of the day I'm like, wow, insane. And no matter what, I can do half that stuff, man. Some of the stuff they do on these PCs are insane. Beautiful job. Those people, I think they don't even consider themselves to be kings. Buy a case and some parts and put it together, that's easy. Tried it in 1980. They built PCs in 1980. That's a different story right there altogether. 14.4 modem. Bling, bang, bang, bang. You got mail. Is that you got mail? Yeah. You got mail. No, they had the 56K and then 56K times 2. Then later on came out with DSL. And if you could afford DSL, most people go to Earthlink and get a T1, which is a lot faster than a DSL. The T1 modems, you can get access to admin, because their password literally was admin. You type in admin from the top and the bottom, you literally can get access inside of the modem. Which you find a lot of developer games are in the modem. I really good old days. I good old days. I want some juice. Ah, man. Now, I'm learning a little welding from my friend. That's only when I build my own simulator frames, but I want to build my own liquid cooling system. I don't want to buy a radiator. I want to build my own radiator. I want my own liquid cooling. I need my liquid cooling to be 1 gallon. Now I've seen a 1 gallon reservoir for a liquid cooling system for a PC. They don't make them. I want my radiator system to have 200 millimeter fans. That's a big setup. I'm going to use with case. I'm going to use one of those old-fashioned reel-to-reels, the ones they had back in the day with Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man. The reel-to-reels, we use data tape. I had a friend who worked at a place like that. They had these vintage machines in the basement. I said, yo, can you get me one of these? I can't. They're too heavy. We'd never get them out of there. Like, you would never get them out of there. It was the old-fashioned reel-to-reel data tape. They had these huge reels on them. They had little lights that went back and forth. The ones you see, like I said, Steve Austin and stuff like that, them old space movies and stuff, they had them down there. They were retired. The machines, I was like, oh my goodness, can you get me one? I just want one. So you can't get them out, they're too heavy. And after he left the company from there, went to another company, because that's what he did. He went there and he actually wiped down information, stuff like that, personal data, all that stuff. That's what his job was. He was like, man, he took pictures and showed them back. I was like, oh my goodness. You know? But his job was just there to wipe out files. I could do a deep root wipeout stuff. That's what his job was. Like, he had to work for the school district. He had this disk that pretty much unlocks any form of password. It don't make a difference what your password is. So sometimes they go into systems where teachers have left and they forgot to change the password or whatever, and it's still in there. He had something that can go unlock your system that quick. Because he used it for my system, because I got locked out of my system by accident. I literally forgot the password. Could not get in. And then later on, he showed me this really cool trick. I'm basically going in and just pulling the battery out. Pull the battery out, that overrides everything, especially if you have a password on your in BIOS. Well, you put a password, it locks your whole motherboard out. So when your image pop up and all that, it says password. You know, that password, your board is locked. So, you know, anyone comes to your house and they press F2 or F2 or F1, I think which one it is, and they pop in the BIOS, you can literally put a password on your unless you don't have a password on there, period. To get access to that point, you have to put a password on your motherboard. You can't get access to jack. You can't get open up, won't run, nothing. Not that password. So how you get around that? Because people buy old PCs and that password will be in there. Just pull the battery out. That's all you got to do. Pull the battery out. Let it sit for a while. It'll reset the whole thing. Literally did it on YouTube. One of my PCs, I forgot the password. They would override it. I'm pulling the battery out. Frosty job. Now I got to figure. I'm definitely going to put a popsicle in there. I got this melted popsicle. So if we do the melted popsicle, I'm going to have to use food coloring to make sure because you put a ice pop in there, and it's just contained to where it's just spilled. It looks kind of phony. So basically, we have to get some food coloring to match the ice pop and make sure it can trace through the system to the bottom. We're definitely going to put some glow into that because you know. Something that basically breaks down and freezes inside your freezer doesn't just contain to one area unless it's frozen in there. It just basically spills everywhere. Especially when your refrigerator's off, it spills everywhere. That's gonna be pretty cool. It's coming along quite nicely, people. Quite nicely. So what I got coming? I got packages coming in today. My containers. I need these things. I got orders going up. And thank you for those of you who took advantage of our sale. Our sale ends on the 15th. I do appreciate your orders. Thank you so much. You get that other piece over there. All that cleaned up. And that needs that for the thing to be flat. Taco Bell, Frosty Snowman here. Want a Frosty Snowman? I definitely want an Olaf. Definitely put an Olaf in here. Put an Olaf in here, Copper? Put an Olaf in here. And then we have time, we're going to build ourselves, in the same case we have back there, Pac-Man projection screen. I've done these before, I did one with the motorized one, but this one's going to have that transparent glass on it. Make a cool Pac-Man back there. I can't wait till we start working on this project. Bam! That's a 106-inch 235.1 transparent screen. I haven't decided what I'm going to put back there. I might put a lighting system back there because I like the lighting system so much. I might put one in there. I can put a small town in there, anything I want. I would like to put I like the neon Japanese villages. Oh, that would be hot. A lot of purple and pink back there. That'd be cool, so I don't know what to do. Wait, where's the glue gun at? Is glue gun fired up? I think it's right now. Nobody's just talking. I need to have this done. Kyle's showing a little bit of lights. I don't want to see lights, so I want to see some cloudy clouds. That's my way. Carry, who thought of that? Someone said, you know what? Got some cotton, some LED lights. I wonder if this will make a thundercloud. Somebody came with that idea. That's a pretty good idea. Whoever did that. That's a fantastic idea. Now they sell these kits, like on Amazon, sell these kits, and the kits are expensive. Now you can just do it yourself. You have to make sure you get chasers. That's what you need. The LED lights you want to look for are chasers. Don't do the ropes. The ropes don't do well. Get the original ones with the LEDs on them and get chasers. That's the ones that do the lightning effect. They do the build up too, especially if you got the ones with the stack. The stack is the one where basically it starts up and it just transfers light until they stack all up and they flash. You get a couple of those, put in, you have a really nice effect to that. A really nice effect to that, people. A really nice effect to that. You know why Naysayer gets mad at me when I do this stuff? They don't build PCs, that's why. Everybody else is sitting here watching this and get an idea like, hey, I might want to try that. Yeah, you should try it. Why not? You know what I mean? Get yourself an old Dell PC. If you get an old Dell PC and basically learn how to take that apart and everything. And trust me, you'll learn. You'll definitely learn how to do it. But Naysayer, they won't do it. They'd rather just complain about everything, which is pretty sad. They don't want to learn anything new. It's just easier to complain. Yeah, it's better. Wait up, step on, get off my fingers. Get off my fingers. Get up in there. My fingers. There we go. I'm just gonna punch that side too. Yeah, those are guys that contact me screaming and yelling. I think it's the guy who built. Yeah, it's the same person. It's the guy who used to build the crane that missed the motherboard. Missed this motherboard. That's the same guy. Bringing up the motherboard. And he got literally would argue with me about. I wouldn't have a conversation with him. There's no point. It's a waste of time. But he write these long books about basically how console was more superior and all that stuff. Again, yeah. Well, if you love it so much, won't you marry it? No, seriously. You know, I love console, I do, but I'm not going to have some huge long debate with somebody who doesn't even know the history of console. I bet you I'm older than you. I bet you I've had more toys in console than you have. Any old school console gamer is going to tell you from the door that the PC is going to be far more superior. That's fanboys get all caught up in that nonsense. Well, you know, get mad all you want, but keep in mind that your hot titles are on PC now. And your company, which you basically put so much faith in, because your guys go too diehard into that mess. Your companies, at the end of the day, again, you're just a number. That's all you are. Your paycheck, that's all you are. They couldn't care less about your comments and all that, and it's true. Because again, they're going to basically do what's best for their company. The best thing what console fields are going to do for the company is they're going to sell their hot title games, like your exclusives, over to PC. Because now they can double their money. It's not just stuck on that system by itself. They can license it out to Xbox. They can license it out to Nintendo. They can license out to PC. That's what they do because they make money. Instead of just keeping it only to their system only, and they only make this amount of money, they can be guaranteed to make this money. It's business at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. The fanboy gets caught up in that world at the end of the day and thinking that, oh yeah, Xbox, you can't second guess what the CEO and Fat Cats are going to do at the end of the day. They're going to do what's best for the company. So if they believe at the end of the day that leasing their games out to third party, that's what's going to happen. Your games are literally on PC. Using and requiring less hardware than you're using your own systems at the end of the day. Not even required. You literally overhyped your system to the roof because they knew you guys would pay for it. Give you an M2, man, you guys go nuts over that. M2 for us, we have M2s. That's where it came from. Where do you think that part came from? That part didn't come from console. That's the part I talk to console hardheads at the hardheads, and they would say, no, console's more superior. Where the frick you think your parts came from? So bottom line is, PCs use console parts. No. You guys use PC parts. Where do you think the M2 came from? M2 hard drives didn't come from console. You didn't start making them. They were designed for PC. That's why if you notice on the PC's motherboard, there's a little port there. It's like a mini PCI Express. That's a little piece that allows me to slot a card in there where I can load 9 or 4 or 5 of those M2s where your system only holds one of them. And if I don't want to spend the money for the M2s, then I got SATA outputs on the back of them too. You don't have SATA outputs, so they force you to use one hard drive only. Which if you mean if you want to update that sucker up to what 8 gigs that thing takes, it's going to cost you $600-700. It'll cost you more than what the system's worth. Ours are much cheaper. Because you know why? We can break it down. We can break it down to reach 800. Your mouth, yeah. We can break it down to reach 800 because we can get multiple slots to do it. Where you need one slot only, which requires you to have a bigger, M2 slot of memory, which means it's going to cost you more money. You can break it down. I break it down at $200 a stick, 2 terabytes a stick. I'm roughly paying, I'd say about $108, $110. That's what I'm paying. Which is much cheaper than going out paying for one that's going to cost me a whopping like $600, $700, $800 or $900. It's cheaper. You can break them down. And if I don't want to basically play with them, I got SATA, which is just super cheap now. That's why I still don't like the way they do console. I don't like that part. So many people got excited when they explained that they're going to put those M2s in there, and they did not realize how much money them things cost. They're expensive. Yeah, but you can max out your memory up to 8 gigabytes, 8 terabytes, right? Instead of gigabytes, 8 terabytes. At what cost? How much money are you going to spend for a console system that doesn't allow you to go where you want to go? That's where I draw the line. I like console, I do, but I'm not putting that much money into a system that doesn't allow me to go where I want to go, or customization the way I want to customization it. That machine right there lets me customize it any way I want. I can change anything I want. If I don't want the motherboard, I can swap out the motherboard. It used to be a Dell system. I took out the Dell. I took out the hard drive, the motherboard. Changed it out, put all new RAM into it, because I didn't want the RAM that came with the Dell. Put in all new fans, changed it all out. Change it out, well, any way I want. If I don't want that motherboard, I can drop a new motherboard in there. I can put a higher processor in there. I can change out my power supply, swap out my fans, change liquid cooling system, whatever the frick I want. And if I don't like the case, I can change that too. If I don't like the power switches, I can change those too. That's what PC's designed to do for modifications. Now, if they did console that way, then you wouldn't be getting a new console system, every 4 or 5 years. You wouldn't be getting none of those. Because again, what's the point of basically making a new system when you can do it yourself? But if they do that, I guarantee what they're going to do, they're going to do what the Xbox did when it first came out. They're going to make it to only certain parts fit their machine only. If they make it that way, then prepare to pay a lot of money. Because if I remember when the 360 did that too, the 360 made it so that you can only use their top loading hard drives. So you pop one of them open, you realize like, there's a 2.5 hard drive in here. The same thing I got in my laptop. Yeah. Then they brought out that firmware update that allow you to be able to convert any hard drive over to their system. Before it wasn't like that. You can only use their hard drives only. So you go to the store and buy that hard drive that was like 500 something, like not even a terabyte, 500 gigabytes, you go buy it. And they want like $300-400 for that one piece. I'm like, good Christ, this is more expensive than basically buying one raw. Yep. Until they bought that software update that allowed you to put your flash drives in and convert them automatically. Until then, you had to pay the money where they were charging for. But they know you can't go anyplace else. That's why. That's why they charge you all that money. That's better. Much better. Yep. So if they came out a way where you got a chance to change out your system, man, they're going to charge you. They're going to figure a way to make it so only can use their parts only. Because if not, they're going to lose money. They're going to lose a lot of money in that ordeal. They're not going to make any money. You can't come up with a new system if you can upgrade it at will. Then guess what you'll be doing? You'll be buying PC parts. Because console doesn't make their own parts like that. Only PC makes their own parts. Where do you think the Xbox 360 got the hard drives from? They got it from PC. Where do you think all your RAM comes from? And your GPUs and all that stuff? It comes from PC. They just convert it. They modify it for a console system. But if you're using actual parts that PCs use, and guess what? Welcome to the world of PC. You just went full circle. Welcome. Because that's what you just did. You no longer have a console anymore. You actually literally have a PC. So now you've become PC. So all you fanboys, this is going to hurt a lot. It is. It's going to hurt a lot. Because you're not both. Some people are not both. You got PC gamers that don't touch consoles. They won't touch them at all, period. They're PC only, strictly PC. You got some PC gamers that do PC and console. And then you got hardcore fanboys that don't do PC at all. They do nothing but console. Those are the ones that it's going to hurt the most. You're about to become full circle. Which means if that system comes out and they allow you to be able to manipulate parts in it, allow you to change things at will, you've just become PC. The very thing you were fighting, you will now become. Welcome. The sad part about it is, it's like putting somebody in school and holding them back. Instead of giving you the ability to learn from your technology, they held you back on it. So by the time you hit that full circle, you'll be so far behind that you'll be part of PC, but you won't have any education and knowledge in it whatsoever. Except for those who did both, did PC and console. I got some people, if I slap a PC in front of them and take the whole thing apart, like put it back together. And they're like, oh heck no. It's not that hard to do. It isn't. It's really easy. But the good thing about the PC console, if it does is, it'll teach you how to build a PC in a much easier way. Pretty much it's just memorizing parts. That's pretty much what it is. You have to memorize all your parts. A lot of parts. You know, like people work on cars, and I just look at them like, how freak do you memorize all these parts that go into this car? So how the freak do you memorize all those PCs you build? I was like, oh, touche. Touche, my friend, touche. Because it is. I look at them and take a car, but how do you know where this goes and that goes? That seems insane. I would say at the end of the day, in my book, I think putting together a PC is much easier than putting apart a car. They say it the other way around. Each his own. I feel that in the days, either put together a PC and take apart a car. Good gracious, too many parts. Anyway, yeah, it's the same thing. You memorize it. And if you say you can't do it, that's blah, blah, blah. And I'll tell you why. How many games have you played in your lifetime? A lot, right? So if someone just gave you a game that you played roughly when you were like 8 or 9 years old, I bet you know how to play it. You'd be a little rusty at first, but then, boop, you just pick it up like it's nothing. You're programmed to play all those games, tons and tons of games, all different kinds of combinations and buttons, control. You know how to play them all. So pretty much you can put a system together easily if you can memorize all that. It's a lot of games, ain't it? Yep. But you figured out how to memorize and play all those games. So if you can learn to play all those games down through time, from Nintendo, give me any game I have, I've learned how to play it, mastered it. And then if you give me that same game, I'm a little rusty at first, like, oh, I can't remember the buttons and stuff, and then it comes to you later on, you're playing the game like it's nothing. You can put together a PC. It's not as hard as you think. It's really not that hard. It's not as hard as you think. You just got to memorize your parts. And you'll be experimenting with parts and stuff like that, figuring out new stuff. Alright, people. We're done with no, I'm done with the icebox. We still got work to do. The icebox. I still got piping to put in. I got the silver tape I got to put in around the edges and all that. And we got to get the rest of the hardware for these machines. And I got to reorder. I go on the dirt paints. Oh, yes, joy, joy. Hopefully this time there's anybody postal service. I don't mind that, but we had a section we can put the mail in. It'd be fantastic. But it's not. The packages don't fit in the box. They go outside. We know what happens when the packages go outside, right? All right, that's good. We had fun. Hey, look, this is a Snapple bottle we did to make it look like it had ice on it. Is that cool or what? But the new ones are going to be different. They're going to glow. All right, tomorrow the powder stuff gets here. Green Invisible UV Extreme Powder gets here. So you get ready to start coating this thing. Now, there's flowers in the background have to glow. Those of you who enjoyed it, thank you for commenting. Those of you who didn't enjoy it, I have no idea why you're here, to tell you the truth. I have no idea why you come in. But anyway, thank you for stopping by. Man, can't wait to get this thing done. I want to get it in there next to my Thundercloud system. Thundercloud. I'm going to do a Thor setup one day. An Avenger setup PC. That'll be cool looking. I've seen people take stuff and make explosions with it. Got to do that one day. Let me see. Where is, oh, can we brush this up? I wonder. What's the brightness switch here? Oh, it's too bright now. Yeah! We got so much cool stuff we can do with this. This is the remote control it came with. Oh, so many good stuff on here. So much good stuff. I had to make sure I found the chasers, man. Because the chasers is what you need. Okay, I gotta go get back to work. I got things to do. Even though I am working, but this is considered fun for me. Look at that. Both of these are cooking pretty nice. Look at my freezer system over there. Oh man, I gotta get some. Can I get frozen pizzas in here? I need a box of frozen pizzas. We'll have to clean that out. We'll have to cut the box open, clean it down and everything, then realign it and put it in there. Some frozen pizzas in there. Oh, that came out looking nice. All right, people, thank you for your time. Thank you for stopping by. I gotta go.